So as I was saying, I have coached choir of a few people before, and by the grace of God, we have coached choir up to state headquarters, in certain denomination, provincial headquarters, in some denominations, and all of that. So it's a passion. It's something that I like to do, and part of what we are going to do is part of what we do at VocalCare. We just dissect it in a choral setup, all right. And you will be shocked a whole lot of things that can be corrected as wrong habits, starting from rehearsal habits to performance habits to singing habits to issues that can have adverse effects on the choral output of your choir. So we do that, and sometimes it can be a session, sometimes it can even be more than a session. It can be 2, it can be 3, depending on what we are working on. Okay, the only area where I can say, okay, maybe no matter how small, is if I want to come and coach your choir and it's outside of my location, just transportation, logistics, and we will come. Like I said, it can be a day, it can be 2 days, it can be 3 days. It will be our joy to be there to work with your choir. All right, yes, and then of course we'll be able to look at 1 or 2 technical things that can be inculcated into your choir. They can move you from where you are to the next level. I can make you do what you are doing to it better. Okay, so I just felt I should just chip that in. Yes, because it's part of what we do. It's part of what we do. So the next question is, have you been part of a studio recording before? If yes, in what capacity? Were you the artist that was recorded, or were you just a backup singer, or were you featured, as a guest artist on the song? Now, the next question to that is that I want you to describe what your experience was, and then I want to hear the ups and the downs of that experience. Were you satisfied with the experience, and then eventually when what you went to do there came out, how was it? How did it go? What are the feedbacks you got? All right, you can ask me questions based on that, then I will try as much as possible to answer you. Okay, next question is, how do you engage the internet and the social media for your musical goals, objectives, for your performances? What have you benefited online as a result of your music involvement and all of that? I want you to just tell me what you do as a singer. Okay, I may be able to provide 1 or 2 tips for you in that regard as well. Okay, now these last 2 questions by me is not everything that I do in my sessions, but for now, for this purpose, just these last 2 questions are the most interesting part of the entire set of questions that we have been discussing all along. And they are, as a singer, please describe your most embarrassing performance. Yes, you heard me. Your most embarrassing performance. And this is how you're going to answer it. You're going to answer it in, okay, this order. What happened? What did you do wrong? Then how did you handle it? Okay. Then where and when did whatever happened? That experience, when did it happen? Where did it happen? Okay. Then finally, has that experience reoccurred? Has it happened again? Or has it been happening after that? Let me know. Okay. I may just be able to provide you with 1 or 2 tips that can help you avoid a reoccurrence of such, and can also provide some other things that I can see in the way you describe that this particular one, that I know that you might need to take they help you prevent such occurrences. Maybe not necessarily exactly, but other things too. Okay, And the very final question for now is the opposite of the last question. That is, describe your most memorable performance. Your most memorable performance. Every singer has it. Every singer has it. You know, what did you do well? What happened? What was the feedback like? You know, and where and when did it happen? Okay, your most memorable performance that you cannot forget. You cannot forget. Yeah, let me give you mine. Just tell me one or two of them. For my most embarrassing performance, well, there are a couple of them, you know, but there is this one that I can never forget. So I was invited to come and minister, you know, in a big church, not a small denomination in Nigeria. So the branch in Oshobo, in Osho State, I was invited to come and minister there for the pastor. Actually, it was his birthday, and this pastor happens to be a dear friend. You know, he's a pastor that I love and I respect so much. He's one of the fathers in the land, and has really, really affected me positively. So I went there. Now, before I was called to come and minister, the MC, as I don't know what happened that day, he was just hyping me that, oh, Pastor AB is around. We're going to have fun. Are you ready? Did you come with your dancing shoes and all of that? He did it the first time. You know, I was like, okay. Then he did it again. And then he came up again and you know, we were just preparing the people, but where I was sitting, I was like, God, this expectation is high. Okay. But you know, grace always delivers. So I was like, okay, don't worry, I'll do what I'm here to do. So I took the mic. Maybe it's as a result of the tension or something. While I was singing, there's this particular song. The song was originally performed by Eben. I was supposed to do that song. But because of the technicality of the environment where I found myself, I wanted to do a call. But right there, I knew that if I had started from the chorus, maybe I would not have had problems. But I wanted to start from the verse. You know how we singers, most times we know the chorus, but when it comes to the verse, we begin to speak in tongues. Yes, that's exactly what happened. But that time, I performed that song before. I performed the verse, I performed the chorus. But I guess maybe because of the tension, you know. So, and then this is another thing that we usually do. You know, maybe it has not happened for you, but it has happened to me. Sometimes when you are leading a song, and you know, this next song is going to be powerful, it's going to be a nice one to do after this particular song, and you know, people will flow to it. But somehow you know that there's one or two lines in that song, I don't know it. So you know what we do? When you pick the song, you now you sing the part you know. Then when it gets to the part you don't know, you just, you know, begin to charge the people, expecting that your backups will continue to sing that side you don't know, you know, so that the congregation will not know that you don't know the song. So that was what I was going to do when I realized that I could not, I can't remember one or two lines of that verse. So I felt that the people backing me up know the verse. So when I picked that song, I sang the part I know, and then I forgot the next line. Guess what? The people backing me up, everybody kept silent, expecting me to finish the song. Apparently, they themselves cannot remember the lines of the song. So it was very glaring that the man of God forgot his lyrics on stage. Meanwhile, there was a guest pastor there too who came to preach as I was invited to sing. And that was the first time I was meeting that man of God. I've heard so much about him. I wanted to make a very impressive first impression. Lo and behold,